Hi guys, welcome back to madeinchina 520. On today's video, I'll explain the storyline of
Resident Evil 5.
Right, let's go to the story. The story starts in 2009, which is 5 years after the Resident Evil 4, where Chris heads to a fictional region called Kijuju in West Africa, and he goes there to catch someone who's a bioorganic weapon dealer named Ricardo Irving. By the way, Chris right now is a member of a new organization called BSAA, or Bioterrorism Security Assessment Alliance, which aims to combat the use of bioweapons since Umbrella collapsed in the Raccoon City. Chris then meets Sheva Alomar, another member of BSAA who will be Chris' partner for the whole story. When Chris hears the word partner, it reminds him of Jill. When both of them go to the town deeper, someone stops them and thus both of them get the access, but someone's watching them. Chris and Sheva are now in the town. They are being by Kirk. I know it's Kirk, but it's not Charlie Kirk, okay? Chris tells them that there's a black market that sells weapons in Kijuju, and Irving will be there. However, they already feel the oddness where there's no people in the town, but both of them manage to find a black market at the butcher shop. The person gives them gun and the meeting location. Then the person tells them that Ouroboros is about to be spread over the world, so they need to find Irving about it. Oh yeah, I want to tell you something about Sheva. She's also the reason why people hate this game, cause she will waste your items like bullets for weak enemies and first aid for minor damage for herself. And somehow, she's just standing there during the boss fight. So yeah, she's basically useless and not helping you at all. Back to the story. Someone's being forced to be a zombie while they enter a small house. And this is what happened. By the way, that thing is called Las Plagas Type 2, which must be forced through the mouth. It's not look like a Las Plagas that injected in previous game, and this one is much stronger than Las Plagas in Resident Evil 4. Chris and Sheva were chased by the people who, most of them were turned into a zombie, which makes them kinda have to hide in the house. While hiding, they see a person from the butcher shop is about to be executed. They can't do anything unless the person dies. One of the zombies saw them and they needed to get out of there. Soon after, they got help from Kirk, but the other members were troubled by these zombies. So both Chris and Sheva found the members are dead, which was set up by Irving. So they go to the underground, but they meet a weird creature that killed the members, and they must defeat it quickly. However, it turns out they were being monitored by the unknown people. Chris contacted the HQ, but they must continue to the mission with just two of them. Suddenly, a truck from Isekai comes from them, along with zombies. But the chopper is falling down. But wait, I just realized now that this game that we killed the zombies who were mostly African. Bruh, this does not look like saving war at all. This is more like recolonization and slavery in modern era. Capcom really did dirty for this. Moving on. They are going towards the helicopter, but Kirk didn't make it alive. The zombies are coming for them, but at least they got another help from Captain Stone and the Delta team. Captain Stone and his team were found out that Irving has moved to a mining area and he's given a data which gives them more information about Irving. Chris tries to learn about Irving, but it shows Jill's, which reminds him of his past game. They found Irving in the mining area, but a mysterious woman who comes to help him. Both of them also find Irving's plan in the oil field. While in the middle of the mission, a creature that looks like a man-bat comes out from the truck and they kill the man-bat. Both of them manage to escape from the town, but the zombies are still chasing them and they must go to the HQ in a hurry. Upon arriving at the HQ, there are a lot of soldiers with them, which turns out there's a giant looks like El Gigante in the HQ and they killed the giant with Gatling gun. Chris revealed that he did this mission in order to look for Jill because he believes that Jill is still alive. Chris saw on the data that he will do the mission by himself, but Sheva is a little bit upset with that. So in the end, they decide to go together into the marshland. Sheva asks what happened to Jill, and Chris tells her his last mission with Jill where they were tracking Wesker through, as well as Spencer mentioned. If you didn't know who Spencer is, he's one of the Umbrella founder, but Spencer was dead by the hand of Wesker. He did the Matrix aura farming. Wesker saw them and was about to kill Chris, but Jill dropped herself along with Wesker as her body was not being found, which is presumably dead. Sheva also tells her story where her parents were involved with the Umbrella incident, where Umbrella also did experiment in Africa, which made her join the SAA. They meet Josh again in the marshland. Josh ended up in the marshland because the zombie attacks them, which leaves him as a sole survivor in his team. So basically, there's only 3 of them survive, until now. But the zombies surround them in order to make an Irving escape by blowing out the marshland. And 3 of them must get the boat quickly, but the zombie is still chasing them again and again and again. And the ship comes to them while Irving is still there. On the other hand, Irving reminds of the time he was threatened by the mysterious person that gives him a serum. Chris and Sheva finally reach out to him, and Irving yaps about everyone who underestimated him. So he decided to inject himself to be a monster, which kinda looks like a kraken. As you know, they beat him, and Irving tells them about the Ouroboros project in the cave. Chris and Sheva then go deeper to the cave, while Josh is looking for some backup. Irving also mentioned Excella, who is a director of Tricell Company in Africa. However, they were being ambushed by the zombies and had an Indiana Jones moment. Meanwhile, Wesker got his Ouroboros complete, and the woman tries to flirt with him, but Wesker didn't give a shit. The mysterious woman tells Wesker that Chris is coming, and Wesker is having a flashback when he killed Spencer. Moving on. Chris and Sheva find the progenitor flower, which is a flower that makes a lot of viruses in the Resident Evil franchise, where Umbrella had been there for a long time ago, and worked together with Tricell. Basically, it's like KFC and McDonald's collaborated to make a new menu. They also find there are a lot of human beings that used for experiment. Chris suspects Jill might be there. Then, Pennywise attacks them, and Jill's body is not there. Then a woman named Excella appears on the screen. Both of them heard Excella talk to Wesker. But at this moment, Chris just realized that Wesker is still alive, and they found a missile, but not sure for what. They meet Excella, and she releases a subject who was injected with Ouroboros. Excella revealed that she and Wesker wants to make a global evolution to make humans become more superior beings. Both Chris and Sheva finally meet Excella face to face, along with a mysterious woman too. Then, Wesker appears to be at some reunion, and tells Chris who the mysterious woman is, who turns out to be Jill. All of them except Excella are having 2 vs 2 fights. Wesker is so disappointed and leaves them, and Jill attacks. Yet, Jill tries to control her body, and she also tried to take off something that attached on her chest. Not sure what's that. Chris takes off that thing, which makes Jill free from the Wesker control. Jill tells them to chase him before Wesker spread out the Ouroboros to the world. They follow Wesker, but they found Excella in the ship lab, and she's escaped. And both of them found a serum that belonged to her. Wesker was watching them for a whole time, then getting a flashback where he killed Spencer because Spencer claimed himself as a god, but Wesker wanted the right of the god for himself with the Ouroboros. Back to Chris and Sheva. They found many dead bodies and Excella was there, and Wesker thinks of her as a garbage. Excella then becomes Ouroboros, while both of them need to hide inside the ship, and Chris ends her life with bazooka. Jill tells them to find a serum called PG67A/W, which can nerf Wesker, cause Wesker kept injecting a lot of serums to himself regularly. Then, Wesker flexes his Matrix moment to them. Shortly, they nerf him with the serum, but they need to reach the jet plane before Wesker becomes crazy. But Wesker has been there before them. They know it's possible to feed him in combat, so they open the cargo to kick him out of the party. Sheva almost falls off, but Chris saves her, which makes Wesker fall from the plane. But the plane also falls down into the volcano. Wesker survives and injects himself with Ouroboros, where he originally plans to spread them through the mist, but he used it to kill both of them. In this case, Wesker can resist the Ouroboros. In this moment, the most famous meme is here. Chris and Sheva attacks Wesker and he's trapped in the lava. Then, Jill comes to help them, and both Chris and Sheva ends Wesker's career for good. Chris, Sheva, Josh and Jill escape from the volcano, and the story ends with their sunrise. The end. Alright, that's all for the Resident Evil 5 story. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Well, I think the story kinda classic, but it's not scary as the previous game, which it's kinda weird. Like, they don't have like iconic bosses in this game, except Wesker. So, if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe at madeinchina520 for more videos, which makes me more motivated to make more videos, and I also will improve my video quality. As always, thanks for watching, bye.